Welcome to Worthington Home. I'm Chris. I am so excited to show you my recent haul. Eric and I went to a fabulous estate sale the other day. It was in this very old historic home in New Haven, Connecticut. And it wasn't very well advertised. There were no pictures in the listing, so we didn't really have high hopes for it, but it turned out to be fabulous. And I have some good footage to share with you, so check this out. We've just arrived at the estate sale. This house looks amazing. I can't wait to see what they have inside. Here's the foyer, and it leads into lots of different rooms. I guess this was an office or a study. Has a great fireplace and lots of built-in shelves with some beautiful things. I like these candlesticks. There's some really pretty figurines here on the mantle. I'm just checking all of these out. These look like mostly Lladros, if I'm not mistaken, but not that one. Look at how beautiful this is. I love the wood paneling and the mirrors. This sofa's looking very comfy cozy. They want $150 for it, which seems like a fair price to me. And I'm giving you a bit of a glimpse around this room. I've already been through this house once before, so just taking another look. That's an interesting candle holder, $35 for that. Now I'm moving into the dining room. It's a beautiful chandelier. I love the spooled armchairs here. And these are interesting. No maker mark here. Wonder what's in this cabinet. Want to get a closer look. There's some very pretty pieces. Nice salt shaker. Can't quite read that. And some pretty things on the floor. All kinds of different plates and things. These are really interesting utensils. What a pretty view out that window. Here's another interesting piece of furniture. There's so much to take in. I love this chair. It looks very old. $125 on that chair. And this room isn't part of the sale. I'm just peeking out of the window. Isn't it so beautiful? Here's another look at the dining room. There are some more candlesticks and some very pretty Waterford pieces here. Now we're moving into the kitchen. The kitchen is quite big. You can see some pretty decorative trays here, some glassware. There's lots of things. Just trying to make sure I don't miss anything good. Here's another little room that might have been some kind of an office space. I like that lamp, but have no place for it. We have lots of storage in this house, which must be nice. Eric's just pointing out these fabulous hinges. Look at them, they're huge. And we're getting a look at this room. This seemed to have been some kind of really loungy room, a family room space. This looks like a very comfy place to sit and watch a movie. And if we go up these stairs, you can take a peek through to the kitchen, or you can go up to the second floor if you take a left. So I'm on the second floor now. There's not a lot for sale here in the second floor, but there are a few things. And of course, I am just fascinated with the architecture of this house. Look at this old bathroom. It's really beautiful. Gets so much nice light and the beautiful wood floors. Just going to take a peek through some of these additional rooms. Again, I'm so struck by the light that comes into this house. And there's so many fabulous built-ins. Look at these. Wow. I guess if you have something like this, you don't need a dresser so much. Love the old glass knobs. Here's a bedroom. I don't know if you're seeing these light sconces everywhere, but they're brass and heavy and beautiful. Here's a nice fireplace.
I'm guessing that this was maybe for doing hand laundry. It's such an interesting space. Lots of cabinets. I don't think this is a butler's pantry because this is on the second floor. But then again, I am not an expert in these things. Check out this room. Oh my gosh, there are like cubbies and shelves for everything, and it's all labeled. It's like double sheets for new. Spreads. Wow, look at the locks. This is so cool. What else do they have here? Let's see. Pillowcases. Inside pillowcases. 2 long cloths, medium tablecloths. Up here is the third floor. The third floor is not part of this sale, but it just goes to show you how incredibly spacious this house is. Look at this grand staircase and those huge windows. I'm loving this bed. It's $40. Beautiful.
Even here on the hinges, you can see a little mark when the person was doing making his line.
Oh yeah.
To mortise in the hinge. That's cool. The old window closers.
Oh, let me see.
A little bit different.
Oh yeah.
All brass.
And look at that patio.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful house.
No ropes. They were chains. Most houses had ropes. This had chains. So the chain would never break. Ropes break.
We're going to make our way downstairs. I think we've seen the second floor as well as we possibly can. Get a better look at the beautiful staircase going down. This is the main staircase. There's also a servant staircase on the other side. And again, you can see these leaded glass windows and all of the trim work. It is a beautiful house. Look at those pillars, the sconces, it's all good. Well, I'm walking out with all of my finds and I am gonna miss hanging out in that space. That was a great old house in a great old neighborhood and a lot of fun to walk through. We've worked up quite an appetite at this point, so we are headed out to get some breakfast and get some coffee. I am ready for it. Here's a look at the place where we landed. We're in Hamden at the Brownstone House restaurant. I love this place. It has such an old diner feel.
Successful thrifting. Cheers.
It's time to head home. I can't wait to lay out all of my finds and show them to you. I hope you're as excited about them as I am.
So I did something I don't always do well for this particular video, and that is I did all of my buying up front without trying to manage my camera. That way I could just be in the zone and be very focused and concentrate entirely on what I wanted to buy. And then after I had done that and everything was in the car, I went back. And that way, at that point, I could just solely focus on filming the home because it was so old and interesting. I really wanted you to get a very good look at it. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I thought the building was absolutely fascinating. I loved the butler's pantry, the incredible linen room. Oh my gosh, there were the dumbwaiters and the phone systems. It was just an absolute gem of a house. Someone will be very lucky to buy that house. I think they had said it was already sold. And certainly that's a very nice neighborhood in New Haven. Lots of Yale professors and Yale staff love to live in that neighborhood. My brother actually lives about two streets away from that particular place where we were. So lots of little cute shops around there, coffee places, awesome restaurants. It's a fun place to walk through. There's a beautiful park. It's just all around very charming. So it was fun to be in that neck of the woods and to get to see such a beautiful property. But that's not why I was there. I was there to pick up some cool old stuff, and I did. Before I get into that though, I do want to show you my mug for today. I have this Bridgewater Labrador mug that reminds me of licorice. I had found this at Goodwill a while back and I am greatly enjoying it. I'm also wearing my vintage Benetton sweater that I thrifted at a Goodwill, I don't know, maybe like 2 months ago-ish. And I wasn't sure how it was gonna do when I washed it, but it washed up really well and it is surprisingly comfortable. So I am feeling like fully vintage here and ready to show you my haul. So let's get to it. I often feel like when you go to an estate sale, you get a sense of what you're into pretty fast. You immediately get a sense of like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be a crazy crowded zoo. Oh dear, prices are gonna be too high for resale. Prices are gonna be in a sweet spot. Oh, there's just nothing here that I'm interested in. This sale was like, oh, the heavens opened up because the first thing I saw in this not crowded house was a whole lot of Belleek. And you know I love Belleek. So I bought a lot of it. And I was especially excited to find this beautiful Belleek teapot. This is a beauty. So I spent $30 on this. You can see the tag is still on it. It's in perfect condition. Oh, I could not grab it fast enough. Let me show you the back stamp. Here it is. There is the back stamp on it. I was so happy to find this. And it's really funny because I felt like almost panicky, like, oh my God, I have to get this teapot. Nobody was in the room with me. We were there right at the moment that the sale opened. Nobody was in the room with me. Nobody was competing for anything. The sense of feeling frantic was entirely of my own doing. It was fine. So I had to like get a hold of myself and be like, girl, just let go. Don't look over your shoulder. Nobody's over your shoulder. Just pick up the Belleek pieces that you want. So I grabbed this one first. I love this one. And then I found, this was all gathered together. I found this very beautiful Belleek vase, the shamrocks, and the basket weave. Oh, how I love Belleek. I just love, love, love Belleek. There's the back stamp. This was $8. I found this really pretty little creamer. This was $8. I loved the shape on this piece. I also found 2 cups and saucers. So I'll just show you one of them. You can trust me, there are 2. Oop, I'm shaking a little, there we go. So you can see the matching cup and saucer with the shamrocks. I love the handle on this. So I got 2 of those. They were $12 for the pair. So 2 teacups and saucers for $12. I thought that was a very good price for Belleek. And then, let me just reconfigure for a minute. I found this big stack of Belleek dessert plates. So it was $20 for the set. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. So nice find, right? I thought that was really good. So I was really excited to take those home with me. And this plate is fabulous. I have 2 Belleek plates, but mine are just plain. They don't have the shamrocks, so I love the shamrocks on this one. Here's the back stamp. And of course, I also love the handles on this. So $12 for this plate. And then I think this is the last Belleek piece. Oh, no, yes. $15 for 4 of these little dessert plates, all in the old shell pattern. I don't know if that's what you technically call it. That's what I always think of it as. And here's the back stamp as well for those. So quite a nice little collection of Belleek. I was thrilled to find so much of it. I definitely think the teapot is my favorite, but I think all of the pieces were really beautiful. So moving on, oops, let me move that. Moving on from the Belleek, I found this very pretty Lenox pitcher. I thought this had a great pattern on it. I love the leaves Here is the back stamp. So I picked this up. I don't see a price on it. I would not have paid more than maybe 10 for this. It might have even been less, I'm not sure, but I thought that was absolutely beautiful. And I really like Royal Terra. I don't know about you, but I think Royal Terra is very charming. I found this open sugar and creamer with the shamrocks. These were $6 for the pair. Actually, Eric found these and brought them to my attention. He's like, don't you want these? And I was like, yes, please bring them over. So he scooped these up for me. I thought they were very sweet. There were lots of fun things in the kitchen, and it was hard to know what to go for because I liked it all, but I ultimately decided to pick up 3 sets of salt and pepper shakers, including these fabulous chickens. These were $3 for the pair. I think these are awesome. These are not super old. They were made by The Cellar, it's called. One has a stopper and one doesn't. They have a great vintage look, so I had to have them. These adorable corn on the cob salt and pepper shakers also came home with me for $2 for the pair. There is no back stamp on these, and they do have their original, well, I don't know if they're original, but they do have their stoppers. And I thought they were really cute. And then last but not least, I picked up these chickens that also look like baskets. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. These were $2 for the pair. They have some kind of marking on the bottom that I can't really discern because it's kind of faded out, but they were made in Japan and they have stoppers on them. Aren't they so cute? I just had to have those. So those were all really good finds. The last thing I picked up from the kitchen that I'm gonna hold up for you, I have something I'll show you on the floor actually, was this really pretty copper plant hanger. So this needs a little bit of shining and buffing, but I thought this was really cute. It had a very dead plant in it, so I don't know if the dead plant was going to cost me extra or not, but I decided to leave that behind. It still has its rocks in the bottom for drainage, I guess, but I thought this was a really neat piece. And there's not a tag on this. I think this was $5. Okay, so now I think I'm going to show you my very favorite thing that I bought in the entire sale. It's down on the floor. Let's look at it together. I think this is my favorite find from the estate sale. It is this beautiful framed wall art depicting 3 churches. This is the center of the New Haven Green in Connecticut. This is number 229 out of 500 copies made. And you can see it's signed and dated 1979. It's beautifully matted, it's beautifully framed. It was listed at $40, but the seller took $30. I am for sure keeping this, and I think this is a perfect time to tell you just a little bit about the area that's depicted in this fabulous picture. The New Haven Green was designed in 1638 as the marketplace for New Haven Colony. It's one of the oldest town greens in New England. I read that the Puritans designed the green to be large enough to hold the number of people they believed would be spared in the second coming of Christ, 144,000 people to be exact. The green is 16 acres long and made up of 9 symmetrical squares with quadrants and pathways, and it's on the National Register of Historic Places. In its early years, the green held a watch house, a prison, and a school, a variety of different structures that are no longer there. But the standout features today are certainly the 3 historic churches built on the east side between 1812 and 1816. United, or Old North Church, was built in the Federal style. It's easily recognized by its 4 fluted columns that support the entablature and pediment. Notably, United Church was the first main meeting house in the city.
Center Church was the first church erected on the site and is considered an excellent example of the Federal style. This is fascinating. The meeting house was built over a small portion of the town's old burial ground. The remains and gravestones were left in their original position and protected by the church foundation, where a crypt, an enclosed chamber around the burial ground, was built. There are 137 gravestones of New Haven's founders and earliest citizens dating from 1687, including Benedict Arnold's first wife, President Rutherford Hayes's family, and many others. You can actually tour the crypt on the second Sunday of each month at 10 a.m. I would love to do that one day. What is rather disturbing, however, is that the entire New Haven Green was used as a main burial ground for 150 years. In 1821, it was no longer legal to bury the dead there, and many of the headstones were moved to the Grove Street Cemetery, but they didn't move the remains of the dead. So it's estimated that between 4,000 and 5,000 people remain buried there. The third church on the New Haven Green is Trinity Church, one of the first large Gothic structures in America. As you can see, it's quite different in appearance from the other two, and if you ask me, it fits in perfectly with the Gothic Revival architecture of nearby Yale University. I was fascinated to learn that this church has stained glass windows made by Tiffany & Company depicting various biblical stories. I learned a few interesting facts while doing my research, and I thought I would share a couple of highlights with you. George Washington addressed soldiers during the American Revolution on the New Haven Green, and in fact, much of New Haven was burned when the British landed there in 1779. From 1839 to 1840, the Amistad survivors were incarcerated in the New Haven jail, and thousands of spectators paid 12.5 cents admission to visit the jail and view the Amistad captives who exercised on the green each day. I found out that Abe Lincoln gave a presidential campaign speech on the New Haven Green, and a whole host of rallies were held there during the Vietnam War and civil rights struggles. This is much less interesting, but when I was growing up, New Haven sponsored jazz festivals and classic music concerts on the Green. I can't count how many I went to in high school. It was and is an amazing place to gather. So that's my very summarized history of the New Haven Green and the three churches, all depicted on my beautiful new framed artwork. I am so happy to have it.
The owner of this estate had a humongous toll tray collection, so I was really excited to pick up some of these. They were $10 each. I think this one is my favorite. I just love the long shape on this one. And a lot of these have like hangers on the back, so I wonder if this was part of a whole gallery wall display. They were all taken down when I found them. And there were some that I left behind. I left behind any of the trays that were very damaged because I didn't want to try to sell things that weren't in good condition. I don't mind a little imperfection here and there. I think that makes old things all the more interesting. But sometimes damage is just a little bit more than we want to see. So I left those. I took the ones that were in the best shape. I'm really excited to have these. And one way or another, I will be selling these. I was really excited to find so many and for such a good price. So while I was showing you things on the floor, I got a little friend. So Indy's gonna kind of hang out while I show you a lot of candlesticks. So I bought 4 pairs of candlesticks. I guess I just like candlesticks apparently, because I got these. These are so nice and heavy. I just think you cannot have enough brass candlesticks in your life. There's nothing special about them on the bottom, but I thought they had a great look and shape. I found these. So these are a little bit thicker in width, so a little bit of a different look. These have no marking on one and a marking on the other that says Gallery Originals, made in Korea. So obviously I love it when things are made in England. Sometimes they're not. And honestly, if I find something that I like, I don't always get too hung up on that. These I thought were really pretty. I love the sort of crystal and brass tone on these. These have no marking on the bottom, just the green felt. But I thought they had a really pretty classic look. And then the last ones are nothing like the ones you saw before because they are silver plate and very ornate and quite heavy. So I think these will polish up beautifully. I've said many times on this channel, and I will say it again, some people really love to keep the full tarnish look, and I think that can be a very pretty look, but I personally like to do a light polish on my silver, just enough to brighten it, not enough to remove all of the tarnish, just so I can get a little bit of reflective light bouncing off of them. The bottom has a back stamp that says Rogers and Son, which is a nice maker of silver plate. So these are really beautiful, and I was excited to find them. So shifting gears, you saw the very large collection of toll trays, but I picked up a few other trays as well, including this beautiful green one with the inlay design. I thought this was beautiful. I actually have a version of this tray, but mine has a brown background, which is nice for me because I collect brown and white transferware. But I thought the colors on this were stunning. So I picked this up, I think it was $5. I also picked up this tray, which is quite different from all of the others. So you can see this one has like an old wooden frame with handles. And then there's just like a crushed green velvet inside. And I know sometimes people have used these trays to display lace work or needlepoint or other kinds of things, so it could certainly be changed out in that way. Although you would have to remove the backing, which is pretty well on there. So could be done. Don't know if I would do that. I think it's really beautiful just as it is. And again, I'm trying to show you the details in the wood because it's very subtle, but I think very beautiful. And I think that was also $5. The only book I bought at this sale, a lot of times I leave these sales with piles of books. There weren't lots of books in this house, but I did pick up this book, Savin Rock Memories. If you are a longtime viewer of this channel, you may recall that I collect Savin Rock memorabilia whenever I can find it. And I thought this book would be really fun to go through. Savin Rock Park was an old amusement park in West Haven, Connecticut. It was beloved for decades, but sadly closed. I think it was in the 1960s, somewhere thereabouts. But my parents and my grandparents and my great-grandparents all spent lots of time at Savin Rock Park. And it's fun to pick up some of the old pieces from there. Things that, people would have bought as souvenirs especially appealed to me. So this will be really fun to add to my collection. I'm not sure what it was about this little silver basket that called to me so strongly. Of course, I do love things with handles, but I thought this was such a sweet piece. I found this in the dining room and it was just calling my name. This is made in Japan. It has an interesting back stamp and its original sticker on the bottom. So again, not made in the USA, not made in England or France or the usual places that I like to pick things up from, but I thought this had a great vintage look. So it came home with me, as well as this big brass basket with the handles. You know me and handles. I thought this one was interesting. This would make an absolutely stunning planter. I would probably not put a real plant in this. I'd probably put a fake plant in this. This could be nice for holding a whole variety of things, but I thought it was charming. There's no particular back stamp on this piece, but it could have a lot of interesting uses, and I thought it would be a nice addition to my pile of things I was thrifting. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you on the table is really interesting. I didn't pick this up right away. I picked this up after I had already gone through the house, and then I got a better look at it, and it was just different and interesting, and so it called to me. So I got this. Let's see if I can pick this up. Oh boy, is this heavy. All right, let me get a good grip on this for you. Oh dear. All right, how am I doing this? Here we go. This very heavy, I think this is lead crystal, I'm not sure. It's in this brass holder, as you can see. So I think this is maybe a rose bowl. Not 100% sure. I haven't done any of my research yet, but I loved the brass stand that it's on. I don't think I'm showing it to you that well. Let me try to move this way. Okay, maybe now you can see the base, which is really the main thing that appealed to me. I just thought it was very different, very elegant. I love to find unusual things that I just don't come across every day. This certainly fit the bill. For that reason, I probably won't sell this particular piece. We'll see. But I thought it was fabulous. I think I paid $10 for it. And that certainly struck me as being a very fair price. I thought the prices in general were very fair. They weren't giving things away, nor should they. But they definitely recognize, like, hey, this is an estate sale. Estate sale isn't full retail. We want our stuff to go. We're going to price things to sell. We're going to make a profit. People are going to be able to buy things they like. Everybody wins. I love an estate sale like that. So the last thing I'm going to show you is this very large lamp. This was $25, and Eric really loved this. Of course, he really loved the eagle on this. It's got a nice big base. This was $25. This was the only thing that Eric bought. This sale didn't have a lot of the kind of rusty antiques that he loves, but he did really appreciate this eagle, and even the shade is in good shape, and it has even an eagle finial. So really nice, big, unique piece. I think his plan is to put this in the barn in the billiard room, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm sorry that I haven't said specifically what I'm selling on eBay, what I'm selling in my booth space, all of those kinds of things, because I'm still sort of figuring it out. I am not sure what I'm keeping. I don't know. I have to think about all of these things. If there's anything that you're interested in, please feel free to shoot me an email. I'm definitely keeping the picture with the 3 churches. We're definitely keeping the eagle lamp. I'm pretty sure I'm keeping that bowl and the brass stand and maybe even the brass basket. I'm not sure. So if you're interested and it's not on my eBay store, let me know. A lot of this stuff will be listed. Most of the Belleek, I just have to price out the teapot and make sure it's worth it for me to sell that, because I do love it, but we'll see what I do. I don't think it's gonna fit on my shelves with Belleek, and I'm not looking to spill over too much, so that might be reason enough to say goodbye to it. I don't know. I am just so happy with my haul. I feel like it's such a nice variety of things. The artwork, the lamp, the toll trays, candlesticks, Belleek, salt and pepper shakers, other kinds of trays, a book, a planter. I mean, I think, I hit a lot of categories with this sale, wouldn't you say? So I would love to know what you think. What was your favorite thing that I found? Was there anything you saw in the footage that you think I should have picked up that I didn't? I will tell you, there was some really very beautiful and very well-priced furniture at this sale, but I just cannot fit a single thing unless I get rid of something else, and there's nothing I'm looking to get rid of. There was nothing small enough to make sense for a booth space, so I didn't pick up anything for that reason. It was just so fun to go through the whole house. It was just room after room. It was just a labyrinth of rooms. I love that. I am not an open concept person. I dislike an open concept home for myself personally, because I like little warrens of snuggly rooms. I like to be able to close doors and have some privacy. I think open concept homes can be absolutely beautiful. I've seen them beautifully decorated. And I can also appreciate if you have little kids, it's probably a little bit easier for supervision purposes. But I always find I'm most drawn to houses like the one we went to for this estate sale that just gives you lots of little spots where you can read a book or take a nap or just look out the window. Lots of like just cozy spots. I think I'm part cat. It definitely sounds like a little bit of cat reasoning there in terms of my love of the Warren of rooms. But yeah, it was fun to just go through and just find, oh my gosh, there's another room. There's another set of stairs. Here's another corridor. It just kept going and on and on. It was really fun.
So in a little fur babies update, Mr. Indy here has become obsessed with going downstairs into the basement with Eric. He knows Eric is down there. He wants to be included. He hates to be left out of anything. So he's learned how to work this latch to open the door. However, as soon as he gets it open, he kind of closes it back in on himself. And this is causing him to be baffled and frustrated in equal parts. And so Eric and I have just been watching him over the last few days and wondering when it is he's going to make the leap and actually open the door and go through it. The really funny part is to see how persistent he is. This guy just does not give up. So almost every time we turn around, he is at the door, working the latch, trying to figure it out. Look how close, but no. It opens a little, then it closes on him again, and then he's back to square one. So we're just curious to know what's going to actually be the thing that gets him to fully open the door and then get to his desired place. Here's try number 3. Oh boy, I think the day may be today because this guy is not giving up anytime soon.
Oh, the little bugger did it. He got down. Well, it's all over now. Where is he?
I don't know. He's over. He's right there, right behind me.
Where?
Right there.
Here he is. Here's a picture of Indy down in the basement, hanging out with all of the tools and sawdust and eBay shipping and you name it. It's down there. He loves being a part of things. He's very pleased with his new trick, and he now comes and goes into the basement as he pleases.
Wilson never gives us these kinds of problems. Look how innocent he is. He's the only one. Are you a good girl, or are you going to open up doors too?
Just a heads up on holiday decor. It is ongoing. I know you've already seen this tree. I've been doing some other things as well, and I plan to include it in my next video, so stay tuned for that. I will also give you an update on where I hung that New Haven green 3 churches wall art. I was hoping to show you for this video, but time got away from me. I want to make sure this video lands on time, so I'll show you very soon.
So that's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this thrifting video. I hope you liked all of my finds. I am very excited to process them and move them on out of my dining room because yikes. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please hit like, please subscribe if you haven't already. It so helps my channel to grow. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a great day, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.